this morning. Now that we all have those phones QR codes scanned and we're all logged in, let's put those on mute. So we have an exciting presentation this morning. Have your pens and pencils ready for feedback, notes for during the presentation. Definitely refrain from those side conversations. Distracting. It's as some of you know, and if you don't know yet, when you get up here to present, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to get started. So just keep those side conversations to a minimum. Again, mute that phone and make sure you're looking and acting your best. We are live on Facebook this morning.
Yeah, one thing real quick that I always forget, and Greg always reminds me, you can go on your Facebook page and share our live, so this way it goes to all of your friends, and we can hope to build our social media presence.
And then that way, when they see it on social media and they realize how great it is, they'll start coming in person and do the same thing. So I want to thank our hosts and our sponsors. First and foremost, George and Pam with Mega Workplace. Good morning. This wonderful building that we are in here is known as the Mega Workplace, and it is full of resources for budding entrepreneurs or people that just need a little bit of a reinvigoration with their business. So with that, we have the SBDC downstairs. Where's John Doremus with SBDC? He's obviously downstairs. So we have the Small Business Development Center here, right here downstairs. The Business Incubation Program. Where's Brian from UCF? There's Brian from UCF from the Business Incubation Program. And we have Monty here with LEAD. And I saw Ray Villegas with LEAD as well. That's our Lake Economic Area Development. All partners that you should visit and see if and when you are ready to get your business up and running. So thank you all for supporting 1 Million Cups as much as you do. Of course, our sponsors, that coffee, Foxtail, more over here coming if you did not get any. And today, our Alan from HR Office Savers is out. So where is Brandy? Where's our food? Brandy is making more cups. There's Brandy. Brandy. Thank you for sponsoring our food this morning. So we do need additional food sponsors for the rest of the year, for the second and third quarter. So if it's something that you think your business would like to come on Wednesday mornings, and it can be as simple as coffee and donuts, or it can be as elaborate as pastries, vegetables, fruit, and everything, as much as you want to do. But it's a good way to branch out and network a little bit more with some of the 1 Million Cups. Network, yes. It's a good sponsorship to connect and elevate your contribution to 1 Million Cups. What is 1 Million Cups? If this is your first time here, you will quickly learn that this is a safe space for entrepreneurs to present ideas and gain feedback on those ideas. It's all Lake County inclusive for any entrepreneur with a budding business or wanting to grow your business within that 3 to 5 year range. It's part of a network of over 100 chapters nationwide. So right now, across the nation, there are over 101 chapters cities doing the same thing, listening to presentations from excited entrepreneurs. No cost, no barriers. As you see, coffee, pastries, donuts, everything. It's open to everyone. We want to make it inviting, so it's less intimidating. If you are an entrepreneur, or you know someone who's an entrepreneur, or you just are passionate about entrepreneurship in general, talk about it. Tell people about it. You're here for a reason. Tell people the same thing, why you're here, and bring them with you. You never know what can happen.
So this is the new slide that we added. Just if you want, we're not going to go through all the numbers, but if you wanted to take a picture of it, this will show you that the impact of what 1 Million Cups has had in the 18 months since we started the program. So when you talk to people during your business week and they're kind of go, well, I don't know if this 1 Million Cups thing is for me or whatever, show them this slide, and this will show them this is why it is for them and how we have helped some of our presenters and the challenges that they've overcome, but more importantly, the increase in business that they've achieved over that time.
Absolutely. If there's one thing you point out, it's that increase in revenue and those big numbers that are what all entrepreneurs are looking for.
All right, so what is 1 Million Cups? So when the people come here to present, they're coming here to present a challenge that they have in the business. We'll talk about that in a minute. They're not here to network. They're not here to pitch. They're not here to fundraise. They are here asking for your help to overcome the challenge. And on the other side of it, this is where we connect and not networking. Networking can be intimidating, networking can drive people away. We are here to make organic connections. We do want you to meet, to connect, to learn about each other's business, meet for coffee at a Foxtail around town, grow that relationship organically. That will be a much longer lasting and more beneficial business relationship than somebody walking in saying, hey, here's my card, do business with me. That's gonna last maybe sometime to one and done. Grow those relationships, but again, we want this to be a safe space for you. So, and at the same time, the people that attend each week, they're not here to sell their product to the presenter. They want to help them overcome a challenge. So we want to keep this on both sides of the table, a non-networking, safe space for help and challenges that our presenters need to overcome.
So first-time visitors this morning, who is here for the very first time?
Please stand up.
Well, try. If you could just state your name and your business, that would be great. So for instance, I'm Becky Sword with 1 Million Cups. We've got lots of folks, so take it away.
I'm Dr. Raymond G. Wagner, third generation chiropractor. I'm having my 20-year anniversary party. You guys are all invited, and
Good morning, Joseph Clark, dealer principal, Cecil Clark Chevrolet. Been over there for half a century. So, Leesburg.
Hi, Lee Tran from Claremont. It's first time here in Eustis, but I've been one in Orlando. I am a wealth protection strategist. So if you have any questions, I'm eager to be part of the Claremont organization. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Larry Discoviak. I own a company called Community Collision in Leesburg, Florida. We're kind of like going to the dentist, but we try to make it as painless. And we just try to make that experience a better one.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Shelley Johnson, one of the owners of Flavor Time. We are a Caribbean-based food business, and we currently do catering and pop-up events.
My name is Michael Louder. I just moved here from Savannah, Georgia about a month and a half ago. I am trying to start a business, so anybody that can help me with trying to just point me in the right direction or anything, I'm just here. I was at the Career Center in Florida, and they pointed me in this direction and said it was a great place to meet.
Well, you are definitely in the right place, so be sure to find an organizer afterward and we will get your information.
Hello, my name is Timothy Ritz. I'm the owner of Whale Gun Pool Services. Do pool cleaning, maintenance, and install and repair equipment. New to business ownership.
All right, thanks for being here, and let's give our first timers a round of applause.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. So at the end of the meeting, we'll give away some 1 Million Cup swag that we have over here, 1 of the cups. So if you have not put your card in the fishbowl, we will pass that around and make sure you do that. So we will draw for that at the end of the meeting. Question of the day. What's one thing you always carry with you in case of an emergency? One thing. This ought to go pretty quickly.
Matthew guy, I always carry a knife.
I thought he was going to say diapers.
And what do you carry?
Our phones.
EpiPen, chapstick, and a pew-pew.
Chapstick and a
Pew-pew. I don't know if I can say that online.
Okay.
She'll explain it to me after the meeting.
I carry a man bag. People make fun of it, but I'm bringing the fanny pack back, so it has everything in it from hair ties to knives. I know it's that one thing, but it is one encompassing bag, including an EpiPen and such.
Yeah, call it a man bag if you want. Fanny packs are not coming back.
I carry my makeup and my lipstick.
I like it. Emergencies. Anybody else?
I carry a $20 bill. Never know when you're gonna need cash.
You know, that's a great point. Raise your hand if you have cash in your pocket or your purse right now. That's actually more than I thought. Did anybody, those with a knife, raise your hand. Stay away from the people with money in their purse.
I'll speak for the other parents in the room. Diapers.
Thank you.
That's definitely an emergency.
On to it, Lee. Jim, I always carry business cards. You never know what someone needs.
I feel like we're playing Let's Make a Deal here.
Derek. Go ahead, Michael.
I always carry Jesus.
Oh. Just for you, Mike. Tiny Jesus. All right. Great feedback, Derek. I'm sorry we didn't get to you, but we got to move on because we want to get our presenter up here as quickly as possible. So next screen, please.
Yes, and here you will see why that was such an important question about emergencies with the introduction of our speaker momentarily. We are going to give Mr. Robert Henderson and Daniel White 6 minutes to do this presentation on Scan ID 365. We're going to give just Daniel 6 minutes all to himself to do this presentation. And then you are going to get 24 minutes to give him feedback on that presentation. And he's going to have some strategic questions for you throughout. So get those pens, iPads, paper, everything ready. Take your notes because the feedback that you are going to provide him is what he's looking for in giving this presentation. So please keep it succinct.
Yeah, and one quick thing before we bring Daniel up here. The presentations are 6 minutes, but we're not going to cut you off at 6 minutes. We want to make sure you get your full presentation. But if you go over the 6 minutes, you're going to finish, but that will take away from your feedback time. So if you're thinking, Larry, you and I have talked about presenting, I don't want you to be worried about, like, oh my gosh, if I go, 6 minutes and I haven't gotten to my main point yet, you're going to get a chance to finish. That's just the guideline that we want to keep you within.
Wendy's not here with her timer to buzz you and yank you off stage today. So
We're nice to them.
So with that, we can bring Daniel from Scan ID 365.
This is my 6 minutes starting now.
Yes, hurry up.
All right. First of all, thank you all for having me here. This is my first time presenting in front of this crowd. I don't know the majority of you. I do know a few of you, but very, very few. So before I get into what Scan ID 365 is, I want everyone to look around and just take a picture or take a look at the people in the room. Like, how many people do you actually know in here? Right? Do you know that many people? Like, I don't. I know Bobby. He's my partner. He's sitting in the back, and he did not want to present. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. But yeah, he broke his foot this weekend, so poor Bobby. So anyway, when you look around the room, let's say Bobby, for example. So Bobby fell out of his chair. He passed out for whatever reason. We don't know why. Does anyone actually know Bobby's medical history? Anything about his medical history other than he's sitting here alive right now? Do you know his allergies? Do you know his wife's name or her phone number? So this is the very basis of why we came up with Scan ID 365. So what happened is October 13th of last year, my buddy Bobby and a bunch of our friends do what we do almost every weekend is we meet up at Ocala National Forest and we go ride our dirt bikes. We got this loop set up that Bobby created. It's like 30, 35 miles. It takes us an hour and a half, 2 hours to get around it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of exercise. It's a lot of camaraderie. Well, unfortunately, one of our friends this time hit a tree. Well, this time it hurt a lot more for him. So it hurt so bad that he actually was unconscious. Well, Bobby did the right thing and he called EMS. And when EMS got there, they said, hey, Bobby, do you know anything about him? I'm like, well, yeah, we know his name. Like, no, I mean medical history, allergies, things like that. And Bobby's like, no, I don't. And it's like, well, how long have you known him? Bobby's like, I don't know, 5 years. Like, seriously, you've known this guy 5 years and you only know his name? Like, yeah. Well, the most horrific thing actually happened where the guy passed away in the woods. Well, the next question was, hey, Bobby, do you know his emergency contacts? He's like, well, I know his wife's name. I've been to his house. He lives in Mount York. He's a friend, right? Well, there's like 15 people there. And of the 15 people, And all the people that were there just felt completely helpless, completely useless in this situation. They did what they can to try to revive him, but it was kind of pointless. A randomly generated number that would be assigned to you, so you get a subscription. We have a data server that serves up this data. So you have control of your profile, your information. So when you sign up with us, you put in who you are. You put in your age, your health, whatever you want. It's all completely configurable, it's optional. But the cool thing is that if someone were actually to come up with you and you have a scan ID, like I do on the back of my phone now, and they put in my code, they're gonna see the information that I want them to know to help me in that emergency situation. Now, nobody wants to be in this situation, but I always tell people, think about this. If I were to talk to an EMS guy today, and I could tell them what they need to know because tomorrow I know I'm unconscious, what would I tell them? Well, I'm gonna tell them my wife's name, I'm gonna tell them my wife's phone number, I'm gonna tell them my allergies, I have some, I'm gonna tell them my medical history, I'm gonna tell them are empowered. Go ahead and pull out your phones. I know they said not to do this earlier, but go ahead and pull out your phone and go to scanifhurt.com and talk about just serendipitous. Like, who would have thought scanifhurt.com would be available in this day and age? Not me. Well, we bought the domain, we own it, so I just feel it's ordained or something, I don't know, but go ahead and put in demo1, D-E-M-O, and the number 1, at scanifhurt.com, and as soon as you submit it, there's a little security behind it that says, do you care if we know who you are and your address, because it belongs to access the system. But what's going to happen is it's going to pull up a profile that says John Demo. Actually, if you look at Bobby, you'll notice that that's his mug on that picture back there, right? And then the rest of the information is all made up. But it tells you what you have control over. So you have notes DMS, so just like I said, what would you tell them? You have your height, weight, gender, but most importantly, if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see emergency contacts. There is names, relationships, and phone numbers. And if you're using it on an iPhone, you click on the phone number and you can call, like my wife's name is Karen. You can call Karen and say, hey Karen, I'm here with Daniel, and here's the situation. So if it's EMS or just whoever it might be, it works. And the cool thing is with the new iPhones and the satellite stuff, it works even in remote areas like Ocala National Forest where there's zero cell signal. So now the only thing that doesn't work is the image, so you wouldn't get to see Bobby's pretty picture. But you'd see everything about Bobby, you'd see his wife's name, you'd see his wife's phone number, and that's unlimited. So that's what our service is. It's all about how can we help you be prepared in this situation that no one wants to be involved in. I mean no one, not the person responding, and especially not the person who is actually on the floor. So now, what did we try? Because, we're new business, we've been in business since November. So we have gotten into the Florida Trail Riders, that's who we race with. They've endorsed us. We go and we set up a booth at every race. So far we have 119 total subscribers, roughly 29 per month, right? So we've been setting up at the races all the time. We are part of the UCF Business Incubator Program, which is Brian back there. So we got accepted that in January. We're doing our best to get introduced, get our word out. We've also just gotten accepted to the Plug and Play Smart Cities Batch 3, which is over in Orlando. 1,000 people applied, 11 got selected. I don't know how the heck we got it, but I'm super, super happy that we did. It had to be Bobby's picture. And then we've had meetings with Lake County. They're running, our scenarios through the legal, like they always have to. We have a pending thing with the City of Orlando and a couple other things. But here's kind of the thing. It's like, we're a new business. Everyone's a new business in there, or not everyone in here is a new business, but we all have business problems. So as we're talking about what our problems are, here's the feedback we're getting. So just nod your heads yes or no. So is this the kind of feedback you would give me if I asked you, what do you think about our idea, our solution? We've gotten a great idea, everyone needs this, why isn't this available already? That was our first question, honestly, is we went looking for a solution. We couldn't find it, so we built it. But I couldn't believe it did exist. And then we have, I have a friend, and oh my God, I've heard so many horror stories about this could have really helped my friends in this situation. I just over and over, I hear these stories, and actually, I'm even thinking about starting a blog and just starting to put these stories down because I hear so many all the time. Or I hear, oh, my kid is like this, and we have the medical ID bracelet, and we like it, but the problem with the medical ID bracelet is it's not immediately updated. Our system is database driven, so as soon as you update and click save, it's immediately available. There's no delay. So there's other solutions out there like Life Alert. $150 a month, you get a little thing. There's an operator, which is really cool, but at the same time, it's very expensive. So this is very affordable. We do $25 a year as the subscription model, and then when you buy your safety ID, you get it for life. So you don't have to pay ever again, and that's only $10. So now that we have all this feedback, which so raise your hand if you agree with these feedback is what you would say. Yeah, most of you in the room raised it. So here's our problem, right? And this is why we're here. So if this is such a great idea, why aren't people buying it? Seriously. We get 120 subscriptions over 4 months. Not a horrible start, right? But at the same time, people just aren't buying it, and we don't know why. So that's my question to you as a group is, why would you not buy it? And feel free to be honest. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I was in the Marine Corps for 9 years, and they called me all kinds of stuff. So you're not going to hurt my feelings with any of your feedback. So please be honest. You Google if you got it. And I'll let this young lady in front start.
So my first thought is like security. Like if I set my phone down, can somebody else just scan? It's a QR code right here. So if I'm not paying attention, can someone else scan it?
So security was a big concern, and also we looked into being HIPAA compliant, which we ruled out being HIPAA compliant because as soon as you do that, now it completely eliminates the ability to do what we do. So what we did do though is the code that you get, the code on the back of my phone is P8PJ5. So it's an alphanumeric randomly generated code that's assigned to you and you only. So that's step one, is that unless they know your actual code, they can't get your information. Step two is if you went to the thing and it prompted you and says, hey, would you accept or deny this? That's logging. So we're logging who accesses your profile. So you'll get the ability to see who does that. So that's step two. And then on top of that, so the code itself, right? There's 60 million different variations of it. Right now, there's only 120 something people that's taking care of it. So let them try to guess your code. They're not going to.
But isn't your code on the sticker?
It is. It is. But the other part too is that consider your pizza guy. When you call and order a pizza, you're giving your name, your address, your phone number, and your credit card. Our system gives your name, not your address, not your phone number, and definitely not your credit card information. But what they do give is your spouse's name and phone number. That's it. And you're also in full control of your information. So if you don't want that displayed, don't configure it. Uncheck it.
So we're going a little bit out of order here, but I really want to give you a round of applause for your presentation.
Can I make my 6 minutes?
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to have our organizers go around with microphones. So if you have some feedback, just raise your hand up, and we'll have someone come around to you with a microphone. Please stand and give your feedback for Daniel. And let's give Bobby a little mini round for his.
Good morning. My name is Ryan. I work with an advertising agency, so just consider everything I'm about to give you coming from that perspective, so take it for what it's worth. What I will say is I think the biggest challenge that you're having is why are people not buying it is multifaceted. Everyone knows to look for medical bracelet or some kind of necklace. Even in our phones, we can put in like ICE and the name of somebody in case of emergency, but they're locked out, right? So Apple's not going to let you in unless you know the passcode. So that's one, how to educate people on how they can access it and use it. So if you and I went to Ocala National Forest, you didn't tell me that you had that on the back of your phone, I would still be in the same situation with those first responders because I would know where to get the code. You might have it on your phone, but I wouldn't know to use it. Second thing would be value. So right now, you said something that kind of stood out to me, that Life Alert's $150 a month. It's expensive. This was only $25. But if it's your life, there is no
$25 a year.
$25 a year. There's no value on that. So you may be positioning yourself too low So, you have to have some kind of, what is your life worth? What's the story? That's the biggest thing to me is, you tried to start with a story that you were telling us about the situation that happened, but you have to put that in a way that any of us who don't have the opportunity to be in a room with you can instantly connect. That's why Life Alert is so great on their advertising, because we see our grandma fall down and we want to be able to help her out. So that's my thing, is how can you tell that value-added story for us to buy into it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick Copley, Dragonfly Ridge Social Media Management. So why aren't people buying it? I think that's kind of the negative side, right? But why are people buying it? So what I would do, my suggestion would be this: you've got 120 subscribers. You need to take each one of those. Each one of them has a story. Each one of them has a reason. There's a compelling reason. One of the feedbacks you got was like, "Oh my gosh!" and someone shared a story like, "They use this." Those stories need to get out on social media. You need to be posting every single day a different story so that people can see that, and people are going to relate to that. Like, oh my gosh, I was out doing this, I did that, my friend. That's how they're going to get more engaged in the buying. So be more consistent on your social. I just took a look at your social media page, so that's kind of what I do. But be more consistent with post a lot more.
Oh yeah, I'll be honest, I hate social media personally. I don't even want to do it, but Bobby's good at it, so ish.
I just want to remind everyone, it is as the first Wednesday of the month with the chamber meeting. We do tend to run a little bit over, so please keep that feedback succinct as possible so we can get through as much. And do stay and give your feedback afterward if you don't get a chance to get a microphone. This is very important. Right here. Great.
Greg Sizer with Right Realty Connection, commercial and residential transactions. You guys stated the profile for them to allow to see. It may have misunderstood you, but can you go back, like if I saw that code and let's say the EMS was trying to get access to that information, you would have to, you said something about approving it or something? Or is it automatically just going to show what you showed us once you see that code?
It's automatically going to show, as soon as you put the code in and submit, it's going to show what I allowed you to see.
Correct. Okay.
Me as the person who owns the profile.
Okay.
Right? The one thing it does is it prompts and says, can I know your location, and the yes or no, kind of like a cookie thing. And all that's doing is logging that someone accessed the profile. That way you as the person, you can go into the access logs and see when your profile was accessed.
Okay, so it's not going to deny the help at that.
Oh, Matthew.
I think is a big thing, and I'm sorry I missed the first part of your presentation, but what about first responders in that aspect? Are you going to talk to Orange County Sheriff, or the Sheriff's Department, or Lake County Sheriff's Department? Are you talking to the chief of the fire departments in order to make these things aware? Because even if they show up, they don't know that that is access. Secondly, I hate social media as well. I know it's something that I have to do, so I do it, but I think it's definitely worth it.
You said do. That's all I heard.
Do.
Okay, so to address what you said, first of all, just in case, I did consult with like EMTs, EMS and all that, and we put the blue EMS logo on the sticker. If they see that, they will check it out. There's instructions on the sticker on, do this, do that, so they'll hopefully read it. And we actually built a EMS tutorial, which we put on our site last week, and it kind of runs them through it. And we are doing an outreach program, which I just downloaded a list of, I don't know, it's like 400 chiefs of fire in Florida that we're going to start next week doing the, hey, did you even know we exist now? So just an awareness campaign to get our name out there in that respect. So yes, thank you very much. We are trying to do that. It sounds easy, but the execution is not.
Hi, Nikki with Whimsy Market. Just a couple of things. I know he mentioned about the price point and that he thinks that you're too low. My opinion was $25 a year, sign me up, because the other one is too much and I can still get the same-ish effect. I liked that. So yes or no, you could always go up or whatever. So that's
Bobby, get her name.
I've actually, when you started, I started considering doing this, but there's a couple things that I'm iffy about with the whole HIPAA compliance. I was in the medical field for 10 years, and I also am very tech savvy. So when you pulled up that example, before I read everything else, and I saw that demo one, and then you also explained the whole alphanumeric thing, in my mind, I just know, I'm tech savvy, and I just have that, I don't know if it's my generation or what, but I would scan that QR code, and then I would put that in, and I'd be like, oh, that must be password. So then anybody can obviously access my stuff anytime. Then on top of it, you mentioned about the location thing, Greg was asking about that. My opinion is to just get rid of that and just automatically log that location, because as me, as a person,
I would love to do that, but
always
I
deny
can't
it.
technically do that because it's
can't?
illegal. You have to ask.
Okay, well, as somebody from my perspective, I always deny the location. I don't want to track it, but if it's my choice.
There's parts of it that it denies and parts of it that you can't deny as a person. So I don't
Yeah.
care which one you pick. You're still
It'll
getting
somewhat
involved.
track you at some point.
It's still gonna.
It'll get your, okay, so
It'll
as
track
long
the
as
access.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, that's good. That's a good thing, because when you said you can deny it and then they don't have your location, that's different.
No, that you will always get the information. I always get something from that, whether you say yes or no.
Okay, and then the last part is, yes, they've touched on the social media thing. It is a huge part. I actually saw somebody on TikTok very similar to yours. It was more of a, what do you call that code? Not a QR code, but it's the one that you can like scan.
Barcode?
Thank you. It was like a barcode, and they went specifically to firefighters and police, all the EMS people, and they had like a special scanner. That's completely different. I know you have
So
something.
yeah, when you have the special scanner, that's when you fall under HIPAA because they have to have the login and everything.
Right.
So we're trying to make it so that it's accessible on any device, Android or iPhone, at any location, so that the first person that gets to you can get the information with minimal stuff. And by the way, on security, I'll add one more thing. So just because of bots, and the bots try to hack your systems, if you put in a code 3 times incorrectly, you're logged out and you have to actually do the captcha to verify you're a human. Otherwise, you can't use the system after that.
That's good.
So we do have, as much as I can, without being impeding what the software's intent is.
And the last thing is how to get in front of people and get them to buy it is also try markets. We run markets as well here in Lake County, and one of the biggest people that you could actually gear this towards is parents. And to be able to have this either on their car, and if you guys offer multiple stickers.
The pack, here, let me show you the pack.
Oh, that's good. So then the parent is the one.
So when you buy your sticker
demographic.
pack, it comes with 4 stickers automatically, and these 4 have your unique code and they're yours for life. So you buy it once, you own the code forever. And then we just figured out how to do dye sublimation printing. So you can even order a metal kind of tag that you can put in your keys or your backpack or whatever.
And lastly, the thing, just last one is the part of that, create a wristband for children with that information on it. Yeah, something that can't come off, and that would just be, that would appeal to parents, and I would buy that 100% for my child, because we go to Disney a lot and different things like that.
Marcus Savage, M. Savage Services. Question for you. You said, why are people buying it? Where did you come up with $25 for the year? Is that your CAC, your cost to account creation? I mean, do you have a good profit in that $25 a year?
It's a subscription model, so like our overhead's like, I don't know, $700 a month. So we figured, well, if we get enough people paying us $25 a year, we'll more than cover that. But right now we're paying out of pocket. So it was almost an arbitrary number, but at the same time, it was trying to make it affordable for the family. So the family of 4, their investment would be $25 for the first person and $20 each additional member. So 20, 40, 60, $85 total for a year. So it's trying to be affordable at the same time, make some money on it. So we're not trying to get rich off any one family. So it was arbitrary, if I'm being honest.
Well, I just think it's subscription based, right? Lower people have subscriptions to everything. When something gets below a certain number, you know what I mean, it becomes nothing. Like if I've got $1 going out, I mean, Apple storage, all these things, if you start going through them all, if there's a way to break this down to something that's very minuscule, it still gives you that same number.
We do have a $275 a month option, so you have the monthly, annual, or lifetime. $200 for a lifetime.
That would be more appealing, I think.
So we do have all 3 options on our website.
That's perfect.
Freddie Clark, I'm with HR. My question is, you're obviously familiar with HIPAA. Have you specifically talked with a lawyer regarding what information you're collecting and giving out to make sure that you're not?
Oh, absolutely. So we talked to a lawyer for two things. One is we're patent pending. So we have our patent pending status. And two is the HIPAA. Like, how do we avoid HIPAA legally? And ends up, that's why we have the field called Notes DMS. So if you label it medications, allergies, whatever like that, now you fall under HIPAA. If you call it notes, where you have a free form to do whatever you want, to say whatever you want, now it's not HIPAA. It's kind of in that gray area. I'm okay with playing in the gray. I'm not okay with going over the line, or I'm definitely HIPAA. So we found out what identifies as definitely HIPAA, because we initially built it with a line for allergies, a line for ailments, blood type, things like that. And then we went and removed all that and just made it notes because of HIPAA, because HIPAA sucks.
I think your biggest challenge is going to be the two things with the HIPAA and security. I mean, you need to have a real strong, concrete security protocol there that you can explain, and it will keep your information from getting out. So maybe you don't put it on your phone, you put it in your wallet, and people can't scan it. Make it a card, make it something like that, instead of something that's just out for everyone to see.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, he's had his own up around now.
Hey, Joseph Clark, Cecil Clark Chevrolet.
Right here.
No offense, you're thinking like miles too small on this. You have a fantastic idea. So dot cards, start there, look there. You just said
dot cards.
Dot cards. That $30. Everybody in here should have one. I'm not selling the thing. I could care less. But that yellow, like the logo on it, would be classy. The grassroots way you're running and stuff. United States Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. So reach out to every charity on the planet that has United States Marine Corps, offer it for free. I mean, how much does it possibly cost you to give it away for free? Exactly. So, yeah, and so.
I don't know, I don't have that kind of money, but if you want to let me know, I can get it.
I'm just thinking,
happy to give it.
It's a good way to scale.
Absolutely,
So,
for free.
And then how close are you to being patent pending, you said?
I'd have to talk to my attorney. We have the patent pending status, but I think we have a year to finish the file.
So I got
3 months into it.
I got a couple other ideas there and stuff like that, but fantastic idea. I mean, brilliant. You just take it up 3 levels on your marketing and stuff like that. And
If I'm being honest, we're just now starting our marketing.
Yeah.
So we haven't really,
Yeah.
we've been building the application, which is way harder than it sounded. I thought it was gonna be easy, but 4 months into it.
Who handles your data?
Me.
Okay.
It's on Firebase Google.
Yeah, you gotta put it someplace that's.
It's secure.
Okay.
It's HIPAA compliant technically, but we're not calling it
Yeah.
HIPAA.
Yeah, just like at FEC, SEC.
Yeah, no, I tested it, so I wanted high availability, plus the ability to be secure. So it's got all the Google security around it, which actually does meet HIPAA guidelines. We meet HIPAA guidelines on the security of the data, but we don't want to be for the access to it via the application.
I see a follow-up opportunity here for some coffee at Foxtail afterwards. This might be a share. Matthew, with that.
All right, Matthew Guy, 2-Point Web Studio. Daniel, fantastic idea. I know you and I spoke about this maybe a little over a month ago, but I want to specifically target your question, why aren't people buying it? So from a marketing perspective, I think that a good portion of it was 119 people, maybe their wives were present, and that's why they purchased it.
I think I guilted them in because most of them are my friends.
But maybe that's why, but I think that the number one reason why they're not buying it is because people just, the reality is they don't think tragedy is going to happen to them because they haven't had that happen in their life yet. So from a marketing perspective, it's really kind of appealing to that sort of like, this is imminent, this is possible. When I take the hunter safety course, you have to watch this gut-wrenching video where you see an accident happen, somebody falls, they don't have good trigger safety, they shoot their friend, that friend passes away, and you're there going, oh my gosh, this could actually happen. And you think about it all the time. So in that sense, you know, say you're at an event, you have a trade show, you have the maybe a monitor behind you, and it's got a loop playing, you know, different scenarios in which this could come in. It doesn't have to be a grotesque tragedy, but a scenario in which this actually applies, and it could be tailored to the event that you're actually at. But I think from that marketing place, creating just a library of content, whether it's video, whether it's, you know, words for a blog, posts for your social media, but a library of content that specifically talks about why this is needed, what that story looks like, and starting off with your story, maybe recreating, I know it might be hard, but recreating that scenario and filming it with actors.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt, for saying exactly what I was going to say. All right, well, I'll just extend it just a little bit. When anybody in here on Facebook see the videos of the fire blanket that puts out the fires?
I've got a full one.
See? So, proven, because you see that, and they give you the number, the percentage of people who have fires every year, and how they stem from this, and this is how easy, and they show you how easy it is to put it out. They show you the video of their kids putting it out, right? They also show you the morons who are trying to put out the fire the wrong way, and then it engulfs, and, you know, like all of that. Right. So they show you both, right? They show you this, a fire is probably going to happen in your house. That's how they make you feel, right? And in mine, right? But one side is like, this could be you struggling, and then you end up losing everything you own, which kind of does something in people. Or this could be you, and it's that simple, and it only costs this much, right? Are you willing to protect your house with this, or do you want to struggle? Do you want to lose everything, right? And so I think kind of getting to like triggering people's hearts to say, I don't want to be the reason that my family dies or loses everything, or whatever the case may be. And it's only going to cost me that much. I would never forgive myself if I didn't take advantage of this deal right now.
They did the same thing with the choking thing for the
Yes.
kids, where it's like a little plunger. I bought 2 of them.
Drama, bring me drama body. It's time for you to stand up. I'm here, body.
Yeah, so when he's saying about the videos, that's going to capture people. And I don't think you're going to have any problem selling it. The second thing I want to say is, as a family of 9, I appreciate your willingness to keep it affordable. Thank you, that was the word I was.
I was thinking this is perfect for my mom. What about for elderly people? You could go to people who work with elderly, like elderly services, and people could buy it, especially if their loved one is on a stage or raising.
Hi, I have a husband that's hospitalized monthly. It is an absolute regular thing in our life. I've never heard of anything like this. Go to the hospitals, talk to them, talk to the insurance companies, talk to life insurance, because it's gonna save them money if they save that person. So, seriously, I have life insurance on my husband, myself, and my dad. If the life insurance company came to me and said, hey, we will give you this thing because it's only gonna cost them $25 a year instead of $200,000 per person, they're gonna sign up
That's
for
such
it.
a clever idea.
Go to, I know that Advent Healthcare specifically, because Waterman is where my husband is right now. Advent Healthcare, they have follow-up nurses that will call you after you're hospitalized for up to 30 days to make sure that you know your medications, to make sure that if you have any breathing treatments or whatever equipment at home, that you know how to use it. Their job is to keep you out of the hospital as long as they can. Those people, we know them by first name. When they call, they're like, hey, it's Vincent. They're like, oh, hey, how's the kids? Because that's how regular we are. But those people could very easily be saying, hey, we noticed this thing is available to you and it's only $25 a year. We've been fighting, he has COPD, we've been fighting this for years. every single time. It's what medication is he on, what is he allergic to, what surgeries has he had, what's happening right now, all this stuff. If I could give them that QR code and be like, here you go, now I'm gonna go pay attention to this, that would be a stress reliever on me, and especially if they call when I'm not home, because he gets confused, he doesn't know those things. And they ask him because he's the only one there to ask. But talk to insurance companies, talk to hospitals directly, especially if they have that transitional nurse position, because those people can present it to your end user and talk to life insurance.
All right, definitely will.
If you can save insurance money, they will pay you.
That's a great point. Thank you, Arlene. We've got about 4 minutes left. We're gonna cut off at 10:05, so short, succinct feedback.
I think, the question was, why am I not selling them, right?
Basically, why are people
Excellent business plan, excellent, you just don't know about it. That's the only reason.
Well, to be honest, we've been around since November, so it's not that.
No. I'm just saying, that's the only reason, if, like say, if, other people knew about it, services she mentioned, this person mentioned, I mean, this is an excellent.
Well, and the other part is if, this is why I'm here, is because I know this is my fault. I don't know how to market. I know how to build technologies. That's why I built the system.
Yes, sir.
Bobby had a great idea. So, idea, builder, we're like, all right, now what? That's why we're here. We think, don't make this sound so easy, but I'm like, oh my God, these are great ideas. I didn't think of any of them, Marvel.
When I went to entrepreneur school, the first thing they taught us was identifying the clients, the customers. Identifying them, and then not only identifying them, marketing to, knowing how to identify, and then go to the market to whoever that person is. But that was one of the most important things I learned. It was only a 30-day course, but it taught me a whole lot when I was in business to identify your clients.
All right, guys, we got about 2 minutes left, so I know Nikki, I know Marcus, yeah, we're gonna go to Colin. I know you guys, we wanna try to get to everybody that has not
accelerated sales solution. So I'm just summarize what a lot of the marketing people and advertising people have said. So in most of us in this room, there's a science about buying, and so it starts with awareness, and then it goes to interest, and it goes to consideration, it goes to decision. The awareness is not necessarily of your product, it's of the fact that you have a problem that needs to be resolved. And that's what a lot of people in the room have talked about in terms of social media. What's my problem? It's the stove catching on fire, it's the person choking. So to the point that a lot of people have already made, you need to do something that makes people aware of this problem, right? Because that's why, to the point that most of us don't think we'll ever have it. So that awareness piece of it is key. So that's really the first step to, along with understanding who your ideal customer profile is, which is what that gentleman just said. Marketing directly to those people, this is a problem, and trying to teach them how to do it, whether it's the story you told, whether it's the 120 people who signed up, if they're not your friends that actually have the problem, but getting people who can talk about situations and making them feel like this is a problem. Because once there's a problem, then they will be interested in what your solution is.
Thank you.
Yes, sir?
Yep. So, Tom Henley, neighbors in Lake Eustis. I love the idea, I love the product. That sticker's awfully large. And you want it to be large to be seen. And like, I see 30 phones out on these tables, and if every single one of them had a sticker, that'd be awesome. But I think you're almost reinventing the wheel. Everybody always looks for those medical alert bracelets. I think, or on a dog tag. I think it has to start there. If the sticker was a little smaller and it came on, how many people are wearing a smartwatch right now? Yeah, most of the room. If it was on the back of the band of the smartwatch or on a medical bracelet, I think it would be more accessible and accepted. My phone is in my pocket, or I got thrown from a car crash, or who knows, the guy's down, he's injured, do I need to start CPR? Has anyone seen his phone lately? No one's looking for the phone. But if there's a bracelet on him that's got that symbol, we all know what that means. Oh, there's a medical bracelet. So I would start, don't change what you're doing, but I would try to incorporate or transition to something everyone already is familiar with, as opposed to find his phone and scan the QR code.
Thank you, Todd. We're going to wrap up over here with Monty, and then everyone please stay around and offer feedback for both of them after this. You don't have to leave.
We'll get to it.
One more real quick, just real quick, but just speaking of awareness and knowing your audience, it
Autism Awareness Month. And you can look into some of the organizations that support families with people with autism, because it's a lot of them have medical needs, but just they can't usually, a lot of them are nonverbal, so they can't even give their information, so it might be a good area to look into. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, Daniel, and great feedback from everybody. Thank you for engaging. I want to say, Daniel, you've got an opportunity to make this product like a needed. There's this saying in business, it's either a Tylenol or a prescription medication. You've got the opportunity to make this a prescription medication, like going after government, going after insurance to make this a must-have. So yeah, continue to do that. We'll include all this in the notes. Last question for you is, what can we as a community do for you?
Introductions, like the autism people or the hospitals. I would love the introductions so that we could get in front of more people, because I think that's the key, is the awareness, but also just the exposure. And we appreciate the time and the feedback. I really do.
Grab your phones one last time, take a picture of this contact information, share that feedback with them.
All right, remember, as we wrap up, I know we had some hands up. Nikki, Marcus, I know you had some more thoughts. I have some thoughts. Stick around. I know Bobby and Daniel are going to stick around. Let's give them more thoughts that we can have, because this is an awesome project. Next screen.
Doing twice a year, you don't do those in a room. I highly encourage you to put those two. For a business to go from idea to the full phase of how am I going to exit this thing when I'm done? Is this going to be a 3-generation car dealership, or is this going to be I'm going to get my money and live my golden years later on? So Fast Track is a good way to bring subject matter experts in, have that hand-holding experience, a 2-hour consultation once a week for 10 weeks to get these free time with lawyers, attorneys, marketers, financial experts, banks. And so I highly encourage you to sign up. We did start, you missed 2 weeks, but there's 7 weeks left, 8 weeks, so it's the best thing going, I think, and it's free. It's almost too good to be true, so I encourage you to sign up and take advantage. Thank you.
Well, we're going to debate on this. It's a 1A, but notice, Kauffman Fast Track, Kauffman 1 million cups. It's from the Kauffman Foundation. And again, everything all the events, get on the LEAD website. They update it, they send out emails every time there's upcoming events. If you have an event you want to add to the LEAD program, that's where you scan it and put it there.
Scan quickly. Community announcement, speaking of quickly. 15 seconds?
15 seconds, and it has to be within the next 7 days. Matthew.
You can all come here tomorrow morning at 7:30. There's the visitor day for the Gold Triangle BNI chapter. Again, meeting starts at 7:30. Open networking starts at 7. Registration is required, so you can see myself, you can see Delaney, you can see Todd Headley in the back, Rick Copley. All of us are in that BNI chapter, and we can happily register you.
Good job. Brian.
Walmart is offering an opportunity for 30 businesses to pitch shelf-ready products directly to the Walmart purchasing department and their buyers. Kind of a big deal. I got a lot of details. It won't fit in 15 seconds, but if anyone has shelf-ready products, let me know. I'll give you the details.
At 10:30, so in about 20 minutes, Wednesday Market is going to be doing our networking event, more like Connections, where we're going to talk about customer feedback down at Foxtail right here in Eustis. So if you want to join us, it's free. And then the last thing is next weekend, which is the 12th, our Easter market. It is our 3rd annual at Sensational Farms from 10 to 1. We'll have the Easter Bunny monster truck rides. It's free, egg drop. Oh gosh, vendors, giveaways, petting zoo, all the things. So come on out for that one.
See, Nikki got the extra time because she's sponsoring Foxtail, so thank you for that. Eric.
Yeah, speaking for Wellness Wisdom, listening to my daughter Natasha,
Every other Wednesday, she teaches a free nutrition class at the Lake Square Mall at the dance studio. So not tonight, but next Wednesday night, it's one of her classes. Several people have been to her classes, like Alan and Rose and Amanda and a few other people. So you want to learn about free nutrition. It's at the mall, 6:30, and there's food.
Alan Biles, I'm president of Toastmasters, opportunity for you to develop and enhance your communication and speaking skills. We meet at the Lake Area Eustis Chamber of Commerce building on Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. I always say get there about 5:30. We usually leave a little later, but Alan Biles Toastmasters, where you can learn to think about what you think about before you speak about what you think about.
Real quick, so I'm going to change hats real quick. I'm also an ambassador with the Leesburg Area Chamber, so I want to invite all of you guys if you're into Southern fried food, all you can eat, catfish, all that kind of good stuff. We're doing our Leesburg annual fish fry on Thursday. It is a ticketed event, and there is cash bar, there's live music, stuff for kids. So I'd love to see anybody who wants to come out and eat some food and network a little bit.
George.
Hi everybody, this Saturday the City of Eustis is doing a downtown workshop for the commissioners where they're going to discuss the moving forward process of the master plan that was designed for the entire downtown waterfront, including the 3 lots formerly the Waterman. So if you want to know what's going on, it'd be a great educational process to come. It starts at 9 a.m. at the commission chambers in City Hall, and we'll go through the whole master plan from one end to the other and have questions for either the remaining staff or the consultant that we've taken aboard, and I'll help you know what's coming if you have some concerns, and you can share them with your commissioners as well. Probably not at that open meeting, but after. But you know, it reminds me of the issue we have with DLT and everybody complaining about these bump outs on the road. And about 5 years ago, there was a series of multiple open houses and discussions on them, and none of us came out, including me. So think about it, come out, have a say in what's going on in the waterfront in the whole entire master downtown area. Thank you.
Great.
And this Friday night, the Lake Eustis Area Chamber of Commerce will be at First Friday. It is First Friday. It is also the first night for the fair. I say that because I like the fair. I like all the agricultural events that they have out there. But just avoid the fair for traffic purposes if you can, because it'll be a mess. But First Friday in Eustis, and that's it for us for our 7 days.
Hi, we have our Lake Professionals meeting next week, Thursday at 6 to 8. And we've got Battling Imposter Syndrome, Leslie Miserak. We'll also have Linda's Catering, serving the food, 6 to 8 here at Mega Workplace, April 10th.
Great job. That's about 12 or 13 seconds. That's how you do it. And I'm not saying that because her parents own the building. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right, let's do our drawing. If you notice, 10:14, 10:15. First Wednesday of every month. We always start about 15 minutes late. We're going to end 15 minutes late. Just throw an extra 35, 40 minutes in your schedule first Wednesday of the month. Hang on, don't go anywhere yet. Hang on. We got drawing. We got pictures. Ooh. Timothy Ritz. Timothy. All right. All right, Betsy, finish this up. Finish it. What do we got next?
One more? One good one. Well, then let's do the picture.
There you go. Group picture. See you next week.